And here's Brian Talbot at £450,000. Not the most expensive player in British football history, but by no means the cheapest either. And Arsenal have never paid so much for a player. He's had 10 years at Ipswich, even though he's only 25 now, and Arsenal have for a long time admired his dynamic midfield play. He now takes his place in this Arsenal side, and it's Steve Gatting who loses his place. He goes down to substitute, but Arsenal have a change forced on them in defence, where skipper Pat Rice has an ankle injury, versatile Steve Walford takes over, and Pat Jennings becomes the skipper. Here's the Nottingham Forest team, rather different from the one that lost 3-0 here early last season, before going on to amazing achievements later on. Still, Forest find it hard to keep up a consistent rate of goal scoring, though, even though Gary Birtles has come into the side and is leading goal scorer with 11 goals. Perhaps the biggest surprise concerns Tony Woodcock, who's played with as much verve as ever, but scored only 5 times this season. And if we go down and look at his footwear, we'll see that, well, it's going to be maybe a difficult service. Flats, almost training shoes, that Tony's wearing this afternoon. The referee today is Alan Robinson of Waterlooville in Hampshire. It's cold and it's bright, and the crowd is a very good one. And it's Forest who get us away in an all-yellow strip, attacking the goal to our left. Arsenal, of course, in that familiar red and white with white shorts. Forest, as I said, came here last season and lost 3-0, only one of 2 league defeats last season. They have an unhappy record here because their previous league appearance, they lost 3-0, and before that 4-0. And in fact, you have to go back to 1964-65 for the last time that Forest won here. But now they come in 5th place in the First Division to Arsenal's 4th, and so it's a match with a lot of meaning to it. They've had the undersoil heating in operation here at Highbury, and they gave it a boost about an hour before the kickoff, but the players were saying it's still fairly hard out there, and as Archie Gemmell slipped there, you can see that the conditions could be a little bit tricky. Here's Gemmell for Forest, lost only once this season at Liverpool. Clark going forward, Walford finding it difficult to turn, but finds O'Leary. Arsenal have lost only one of their last 10. They're in a good run at the moment, in spite of that hiccup in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday, a draw here in midweek, and a replay on Monday at Leicester. Pat Jennings. Kick for Arsenal, which Brady will take. No foul. Needham. That's a good bit of play by Sammy Nelson. Now Talbot lining up a shot, but wide of the target, and a bit of space there for Brian Talbot to get his first shot as an Arsenal player in with any anger at all, but well wide of Peter Shilton's goal. And here's Lloyd. Well, Willie Young, under pressure from Birtles, only finds O'Neill, and now Robertson. Woodcock. Woodcock thought he might have had something there, but the referee was placed, what, about 4 yards away, perfectly to see it. Now Stapleton, with Sunderland waiting in the middle. Oh, what a beautiful move, and straight at Shilton. But it was Sunderland here who made a brilliant run, and Stapleton's perfectly placed cross met by Sunderland's head, but straight into the arms of Peter Shilton. But a brilliant move. Need him away. And the ball, a good advantage played by the referee. The linesman was flagging furiously for a foul on Birtles. He thought that Birtles had a chance of keeping possession, and now it's with Robertson, and it's a goal! Was a classic piece of refereeing, in point of fact. The linesman flagged for a foul on Gary Birtles. The referee played the advantage, which is what we want referees to do more and more. Birtles took advantage of it. It came to John Robertson, deflected off an Arsenal defender, and beyond Pat Jennings into the net. Arsenal 0, Nottingham Forest 1, John Robertson the scorer. Brady. Not quite quite as devastating today, Liam Brady, as we've seen him this season. And shrugged off the ball there by O'Neill. The referee quite happy with that. Robertson taking on Walford, sweeping by him. The cross coming in low, my word, it might have gone for Woodcock, it might have gone for Birtles. In the end, it went for the goal kick. Lovely piece of play, though, by Robertson, sweeping past Walford. Just a touch required. Brady now. Clark's header. Gemmel's header. Half-time whistle, and John Robertson's goal is the goal that puts Nottingham Forest into the lead in the first half, where they've had slightly the better of things, and the game, in fact, you get the impression the players are beginning to come to grips with this surface as the half wore on. So Arsenal a goal down, and really what is a formidable side is that of Peter Shilton, is the man they've got to beat between those Forest sticks if they're at a draw level. So a half-time situation then here at Highbury, which is Arsenal 0, Nottingham Forest 1. We'll be back with the second half. Then welcome back here as we start the second half with Forest leading by a goal to 0. Arsenal in the dark shirts now attacking the goal to our left. Woodcock, Gemmell, and that's cut out by Willie Young. Forest just about deserving that first half lead, playing with a lot of composure and comfortably holding off Arsenal. And when you think that Burns and Barrett and O'Hare and Bowyer are all playing, believe it or not, in the Forest youth side this afternoon, that's going to be a surprise for some youth team that's opposing them in the Midlands Intermediate League. Free kick now to Forest. Price nodding that down. That was a quick reaction header there, finding Brady. Stapleton. Brought down by David Needham, a free kick. And Brady now with the free kick with Stapleton still off the field. And Lloyd winning it well in the air from Willie Young. Birtles touching it now for Archie Gemmell. And look at this for a ball, and look at the man, it's Viv Anderson who's taking it up again. Tremendous pace. O'Leary trying to get back. My word, it was a brilliant move and almost a marvellous goal. In the end, they get nothing more than a corner. But Gemmell's break again. Superb run by Viv Anderson, covering the ground as though it was a beautiful surface. Cut inside, and Birtles couldn't finish it off, which has already been taken. Nelson. Good defensive play again by Anderson, except that in the end he lost it and Brady can take it up. There's a good cross now. Stapleton on the far side, and it's knocked in! It's knocked in by Price. Arsenal get level. David Price the scorer, as he seems to score so many important goals. And if you have to go and look right back where it all started, it was when Anderson of all people lost possession and Brady took it up. A nice cross knocked in, headed down by Frank Stapleton and forced home by David Price. 1-1. And David Price, his 5th goal this season, which really gives us a game now. There, giving Forest the throw. And another one. Robertson's cross coming in, and it might come a long way for O'Neill. What beautiful skill by O'Neill. Well, as Robertson's cross came in, just look again at the quality of the skill there. As Martin O'Neill, it seemed to touch his thigh once, twice, 3 times, turning all the time and getting in a shot which nonetheless was off the mark. Made a great run through the middle, and here's Nelson. Look at the run that Price has made on the left of the picture there. Own penalty area when that move started. In fact, the ball comes now to Stapleton. Oh, and it might come for Stapleton again. Turn back, someone to hit it. It's Ricks, and he's flicked up and flicked over by Alan Sutherland. Oh, Stapleton made a great run down that byline. The little flick out there, and everybody was waiting to row a goal as Ricks came and met it. But he somehow got a little bit tangled up, and the flick on was over the Nottingham Forest crossbar. Stapleton really hasn't been Stapleton's surface today, but he's covered a tremendous amount of ground in a real wholehearted way. Robertson. And McGovern getting lost, and the ball found by Brady. This could be an interesting break for Arsenal. Price is right in there, and Stapleton's right in there, and what a goal! Stapleton with a devastating shot, and there's no answer to that from the Nottingham Forest bench. A break down the right, which always looked as though something might be on, but I don't think Peter Shilton or Forest expected an explosion quite like that from Frank Stapleton. Past Shilton into the corner of the net. Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Arsenal manager on his feet doing a lot of shouting, seeing that his side is just 2 minutes away maybe from what would be a very valuable win indeed. Brady getting tangled up there with Clark. Walford getting in there. That looks like a free kick as his feet were swept from underneath him by John Robertson. Arsenal's free kick. Brady is over there. We've played already a minute of injury time, and there's so little of it. The referee looking hard at the watch again. Walford playing it in towards Stapleton, and in fact keeping it in, to the surprise of Nottingham Forest. But the whistle has gone. Brian Clough and Peter Taylor. It's a rare sight to see them go, and for the rival manager to say bad luck to them, because they've been beaten only for the second time this season, Nottingham Forest, by 2-1 against Arsenal. And indeed, it's an afternoon when you see the players go off without spotlighting anyone in particular, because we've had 22 players here today who've given, on very difficult conditions, a really good afternoon of entertainment and commitment. With a final scoreline then at Highbury, Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1.